Good morning, boys and girls. It's Monday, the 25th of February, 2019. Welcome along to a very, very sunny Bracknell and this morning's United Kingdom talk. It's all in the papers, the Oscars. Everything's about the blooming Oscars in the paper. We will only touch on that, boys and girls. I've got a few videos to play out for you today. If you are on my Facebook, you may well have seen all of them or maybe one of them. That's throughout the show today. Okay, so that's all coming up in today's show. I'll do a little bit on the Oscars in a minute, but let's do early messages early today, shall we? First message of the day on YouTube comes from the lovely Claire. Good morning, Claire. Wants to know, did I manage to play the organ? All the information is coming up, Claire. It's a very stressful day yesterday. Very stressful day. Highs and lows yesterday. Over on Facebook Live, good morning to Wayne Martin. First message of the day from Wayne on Facebook. Good morning. Michael Poleman's there from Australia. Good morning to you, sir. Hayley and Lee. Good morning, Hayley and Lee. You're right, my little darlings. So nice to see you at the meal the other week. It really was. Katie Ann Patterson is in the house. Good morning, Katie. Rosemary Dixon. Good morning, Barry Monday. There we are, our Barry picture. About to be changed in a couple of days' time. We're already at the end of February. Gosh. The weather bloke this morning. Who was it this morning? Can't remember now. Doesn't matter. Weather bloke this morning was saying we are about to start the meteorological spring. And what's that mean? Meteorological spring. I mean, it's either spring or isn't spring. Why they've got to add words to it or make things complicated? Is it spring or isn't it spring? Oh, well, it's the meteorological spring. Well, what's that then? Is that spring or not? God's sake. Well, apparently that starts at the beginning of the March. Hello to Lee Gasson. Good morning, Lee, who's in Inverness. He's in Inverness. Och, I bidoo. Oh, I love the Highlands, Lee. Oh, I want to go at some point on some sort of walking holiday. And the Highlands would be a place. I don't know if I could ever sleep in a tent again. I used to do tents when I was in the Scouts years and years ago. Of course, we wouldn't think anything of going on holiday and, taking a little tent on our back and going for a 20-mile hike and then just stopping at a random place, setting up a tent and going to sleep. That's what we used to do as Scouts. Literally. I remember it was me and my friend, what was his name? Philip Thompson, that was it. And we went on this, was it a 3-day hike? I can't remember. And the only part of it I can remember is having to cross this main, I think it was a motorway or something. We literally ran across it. Because, of course, in those days, we didn't have computers or maps. Maps on here. So the paper map we had all very quickly became out of date because it was like masses of road building in the 1970s. And there, in the middle of this field, was a motorway. We didn't know how to get across. So we ran across it. Literally. Very dangerous. And I remember walking under these pylons and they were buzzing. And we called them the buzzing pylons. We were scared of them. We were actually scared of these pylons because they were buzzing. We walked underneath them, they were buzzing. And then we set up a tent and just sort of randomly, just off this footpath and went to sleep. That's what we used to do as Scouts. Amazing. But I would like to go on some sort of walk. Maybe not a walking holiday like overnight type thing. But like walking between places, okay, so you walk this way, 2 hours to the next place, something like that, which I know I could do in Scotland. Such a beautiful place. Oh, such a beautiful place. Good morning to Mr. Ray Reynolds, the organ grinder next week. Play the organ with the monkey on top. I don't think they're like that. I don't think they're like that. Good morning to Dr. SOS Gregorian. Good morning to you, sir. Have you got some pictures of your church you could send us? Oh, I might sneeze. One moment. No, might not sneeze. Hang on, I'll look at a light. Then it'll work. Can you do that? Look at a light and make yourself sneeze? Isn't that amazing? Sorry about that. Good morning to Damon Gaunt. Yes, Mr. Gregorian, do send us some pictures of your church. Maybe the organ as well. I'd love to have a look at it. Now, where is your church? Are you that church when you come? Because my mate told me about this, the one who's in hospital at the moment. Little message coming up from him later on. That as I go into London on the M4, on the left-hand side is this beautiful building with a blue roof. Now, I think that's something to do with your church, or is it your church? Do let me know if that's your one or not, because I've often wanted to have a look in there. All right. David Wilson Boyer, good morning, who's in Switzerland this morning, looking after all our money. Good morning, David. What's wrong with Ronnie? I'll play it out in a moment, the whole Ronnie tape, okay? Joanna is in the house. Good morning, Joanna. And that's everyone this morning, I think. Is that everyone? That's where we are so far. Good. Excellent. Well, just touching on the Oscars, because as you know, award shows just leave me completely cold. They do nothing for me whatsoever, whether it's the Brits, the Oscars, or whatever. However, there was a couple of bits on the Oscars last night. First of all, the lad who played Freddie Mercury in Queen, he won some stuff. He fell off the stage. Did you see it? He fell off the stage. Now, where's that? Hang on a minute. I had that. Here we go. Another one bites the dust. Yes, Rami Malek is his name. What an actor. What a fantastic piece of acting in that film he did. I loved it. Absolutely loved Bohemian Rhapsody. I know some of you didn't see it when it first came out. And I've been watching it now on, I think, the Sky... What's it called now? Sky Shop? I think it's called the Sky Shop. I think they've got it on there. What do you do on that? Do you rent that or buy it? I don't know. I've never bought anything on the Sky Shop, but I think it's on there now. And a couple of you have been abroad and watched it on the plane on the way there and back. But the trouble is, you're never going to get that experience that you're getting into cinema. I mean, there are just certain things that you need to see at a cinema. That's one of them. When you see it on that big screen and there's Freddie Mercury on that stage running around. Anyway, he's won an award, but he fell off the stage. At the Oscars, Rami Malek was treated by medics after falling off the stage into the audience area after accepting his Best Actor award at last night's Oscars. He's only 37. He remained seated as he was given a once-over following a stage tumble, but appeared to be okay, pulling a funny face after the slip at the Academy Awards. So he's all right. He's all right. He's been given the all clear, so that's all right there. I mean, it's more embarrassing than anything else, isn't it? You remember what it's like when you fall over? I mean, when you fall over, as I did last week, when I fell over at home last week and I fell down the stairs, only one step, but I went down with a bang on the wooden floor. And it wasn't, apart from the pain, that was okay. It's when you fall over and people see. Oh, isn't that awful? Like you're in a supermarket or something like that. And you go over, or on the pavement. Oh, God, I hope no one... And everyone comes up, are you all right? Please leave me alone. Don't look at me. Good morning to JP. JP joining us this morning. There he is. There's my mate. There's Keith George as well. Good morning, Keith, who's in Sydney, Australia, where I am a nighttime show there. A nighttime show in Sydney, Australia. Good morning. Ronnie, there he is. There's my mate. What's with that grey top and that jacket? Me and you are going to have to have a very, very serious chat. Why is that? What goes on and what doesn't? What's wrong with it then? Doesn't that work this morning? Have I got a bit of a fashion mismatch? Got a fashion mismatch this morning. I'll be playing out your hospital video shortly. There you are. My mate's watching from hospital today. Feel free to talk to him. He's on Facebook. Someone was asking me about the various different chat things we have here. Oh, Keith's meeting Ruby James. Please send her one of my favourite cabaret artists ever to work with. Her and her husband, Peter. Please send me her best wishes, Keith. Are you going to her house? Beautiful house she's got. You wait till you sit on her balcony and see the parrots. She's got parrots and that all coming around. Sorry, gang, I'm just talking to my friend Keith there. Just such a wonderful, warm, lovely person, Ruby. I haven't got a bad word to say about her. I really haven't. She's such a wonderful person. I'm so glad you're going to see her tomorrow. You have a lovely time, Keith. And as I say, please send her my best wishes. Sometimes I send her a Facebook. She don't reply. I don't think she goes on Facebook much or anything like that, okay? Anyway, now where were we with that? Oh, yes, back to the Oscars. So the poor bloke fell off the stage. But there we are, not too much damage done. That was sort of funny. Oh, terrible I am. I do laugh at people's bad experiences, really. And then on the BBC News, the strangest interview ever, right? So there's that bloke on there, Billy Porter, who came to the Oscars in a black dress. What did he look like? I'm sorry. Why doesn't anyone say it? You look stupid. No one says that. Oh, wow. Oh, look, Billy Porter's got a lovely black tuxedo ball gown on. No, it looks stupid. Why doesn't anyone say that? What on earth do you look like? All the papers are in awe at this dress. I thought he looked like an idiot. I'm sorry, I did. Awful. Absolutely awful. Anyway, so he's been interviewed, right, on the BBC News this morning about stuff. And one of the things he was interviewed about, wasn't he sort of pleased that Olivia Colman won the award for her being queen? And the conversation carried on, and it wasn't quite making sense. And then he said, I prefer the other queen, Claire Fox. And I thought, hang on a minute. And I think he's confused one with the other. It was quite funny, because, of course, the Claire Fox, is it Claire Fox? Claire Fox? She was the one who played the queen on the Netflix series, The Crown. And he started going on about The Crown. Well, it was nothing to do with the film that Olivia Colman was in, which was, I can't remember the name of the film now, actually. But it was obviously he hadn't got it. And at the interview, he didn't correct him at all. I don't suppose you would correct someone like Billy Porter, would you? But I thought that black dress looked absolutely hideous. So that was my little thing on the Oscars, and that's all I was interested in, really, watching that. I know some people, a lot of people, they do like the whole programme and all that, but they didn't even have a host, did they? So I'm not quite sure how that works. Presumably the whole thing will be on the television at some point. I don't think we got it here live, but we wait and see, won't we? Sarah, let's have a look. Oh, there, yeah, we are. Keith, I've been in the house in the past, isn't it? It's such a lovely place, that is, Keith, there. Really is. Sarah Lou Lace, good morning. Fancy playing with your organ for all to see, Christopher. Loved it, though. You needn't be nervous. I'm off to work, but I wanted to check in. Hope Ronnie is okay. Yes, he's coming along slowly. He's not too well this morning. He didn't get a good night's sleep because some of the drugs that they've given him have brought hives on his back. Hives, which is probably a good thing, you know, because the bees are always looking for new places. Aren't they? We've got to look after the bees. And if my mate's got hives on his back, well, at least they've got somewhere to live now. You know? Make a home for a bee. Immediately, please. Thank you. Keith loves the Oscars. I thought Olivia Colman's acceptance speech was brilliant. Oh, she started crying, dear. Why do they cry? Just take the award and get off the stage, dear. We don't need the tears. It makes us all unhappy. Got to be happy. Happy, happy. Yes. Right, it was better than the Boys Awards. Oh, I'm not even going to comment on the Boys Awards. I saw some of the people who won, and what a joke. Untalented people winning. I don't know who's voting. There's a lot of dodgy stuff going on in the Boys. There's absolutely no respect for those awards whatsoever now. Now, there were certain people who won Boys Awards. This is a gay scene awards thing in London, right? And there were certain people who won awards, and I'm looking at it and I thought, no, you must be joking. Clearly, these unnamed people have been filling in the forms all themselves, exactly like I used to do years ago. Well, actually, no, I didn't. A lot of people think, because I won a DJ award several years in a row, and people say, oh, you must have filled out the forms yourself. No, I didn't. I got other people to do it. As people would come up to me, I'd say, would you fill in one of those forms? And they'd fill it in with their name and address, and I'd send it off for them. That's kind of not really cheating, is it? I wasn't doing it myself. Besides, you would be able to see in the handwriting. But no, I know what you're saying, Keith. What a joke. Michael Lawrence, good morning, Michael. Hope you're well. I hope Ronnie has a speedy recovery. Yes, indeed. I'm going to play you out a video. I went to see my mate yesterday. So much more to tell you today, really. Shall I hold on to that for a bit? Yeah, because we got to lead up to that story. We got to lead up to the Ronnie story, so we'll come up to that. Yesterday, I got up around about 9 o'clock yesterday. And I was really stressed out. It didn't stop me sleeping, funnily enough, on Saturday night. But yesterday morning, I played the organ at church. And it's the first time I've played for years. And in a church where I've never played the organ, you see? So 9 o'clock, I got up, as I say, had my breakfast. I left the house a little bit later than I wanted. I wanted to be there at 10, really, or 10 past 10. I didn't want to get there as the 9 o'clock people were coming out. So I wanted to get there about quarter past 10. I didn't get there till 10:30, so I went into the church. And honestly, I'm as nervous as... I haven't been that nervous for ages. I haven't been that nervous for ages. Went in there was no one around. So I went into the sacristy, where like the priest and the altar boys and all that get changed. Got the hymn boards, started putting the numbers in, put them up, and a lady came in and said, "Oh, you must be Chris." That's right. "Oh, hello, I'm so-and-so. I choose all the hymns here." She said, and I sing in the choir. I said, "Hello, are you staying for 11?" She said, "No, I won't be staying." She said, "Have a lovely afternoon. I've heard that you're quite good." And I've only played the organ for when I went in a couple of afternoons, a few afternoons ago, to play to Father and the secretary to see if I was able to do it. Oh, you don't. You can't ring now, mate. To see if I could do it like that, you see. It's so annoying when someone rings like that. Sorry, gang. That's really thrown me now. Now, where was I? Oh, now this is why I don't read your messages halfway through stories, because it throws me completely and I can't remember where I were. Okay, putting the hymn books up. So I'm putting these hymn boards up, and the lady was... So thank you very much to her. And I carried on doing my stuff and I walked through. And as I was about to go up the stairs to where the organ is, got the key for the organ. And there's another thing here. There's a lot of trust here involved. I like to be trusted. And for the priest to say, "Right, okay, just come in here. This is where we keep that key. Just let yourself in there, go up there." And I felt completely trusted. And that means so much to me. It really does. If someone was to give me £1,000 to look after for them, it would still be here when they came back for it. Unless it was broken into, you know. I mean, honestly, I like to be trusted. I can't stand it if someone tells me something and then keeps checking up on me. I had a manager like that and it really pissed me off in the end. Really pissed me off. I like to be trusted. Don't distrust me, because as soon as I've found you distrust me, I don't like you anymore. I like to be trusted. There was so much trust there. So give me the key and all that business. A couple of days ago this is. I've gone up the stairs and switched on the instrument. As I'm going up there, the priest said, "Oh, is it you today?" I said, "Yes, Father." He said, "Oh, you'll be fine." I said, "Oh, I am so nervous." He said, "Oh, don't worry about it." And he said, if you find any of the hymns too difficult, just change them. It's funny, really, because the lady who chooses the hymns, I think she's an important person. Very important. She said to me that Father likes all the hymns the same at both masses. No, he doesn't, because he told me. He said if there's any hymns that you think need to be changed, just change them, and that's fine. Okay, thank you, Father. So I've gone up the stairs, fired up the thing. I'm quietly playing now. Now, although I can play a keyboard, okay, every keyboard is different. So you go. I mean, if you was to go into the cathedral in Sydney, St Mary's. If you was to go into St Mary's Cathedral in Sydney, right, and you went to the church I was in, completely different, like several layers of keys. In the church I'm in, only 2 layers of keys. Some of these organs, they got 4 or 5 layers of different keys, endless stops and all that. So, you know, each one is different. So you go from your home, where I've just got basically a piano with an organ button on it, and then into the church. So there we are, switched it on and I started playing slowly and I thought, okay, it's not too bad. And then I found there was a pedal which gives me a bit of a sustain. Now, I explained to you what sustain was last week. I'll just quickly do it again. Sustain. So an instrument without the sustain would be like singing a song like this. 1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. As soon as you take your fingers off the keys, the noise stops. With a sustain, it carries on for a while. So it kind of flows into each other. Example, 1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. Do you see what I mean? So it flows into each other. So you don't get that static like that. And I found the pedal. There was a pedal on there which gives it a bit more sustain. Not only that, the fact that you're in a big building means that it echoes around. So it does naturally sustain anyway, you see. So I played a few quiet tunes and then people have started coming in. Okay, so I'm looking at the clock now. It's like 10 minutes to 10. I think, shall I just close the books and go home? Anyway, so I'm looking at it. It's now 2 minutes to go, and the bell rings. And I thought, you're going early. The bell rings, and the bell rings is the cue for me to start. Right? So the bell rings, but I'm in position, so that's fine. And off I go. Da 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 da. And that was it. And off we went. So there was that. There was the Gloria, there was an Hallelujah, there was another hymn, there was a bit of music, communion, there was another hymn, and a bit at the end, and it went all right. It went all right. At the end of it, I finished and closed up, and I was fairly happy, really, that I hadn't made any really big mistakes. There was probably a couple of wrong. Sometimes, when you're concentrating a lot, you kind of hit 2 notes instead of 1, only slightly. But I went into the sacristy afterwards to put the boards back and put the numbers in there. And a lady in there, I said, I think I marked a couple of notes. She said, well, most people wouldn't notice that. I said, I'm sure they would. She says, no, you, as someone who's playing it, will notice it. But she said, most people won't notice it. She said, I'm a musician and I didn't notice anything wrong. So I suppose she's got a point there, really. She's got a point, I think. Whereas perhaps we all criticise ourselves. I'm the worst one for doing that. I'm absolutely the worst one for criticising myself. I really am. And perhaps we do that too much, all of us. We look for faults in ourselves. Instead of looking at the positive things. If you ever go and see someone about depression, if you've ever had depression, you will go in and see this psychiatrist, and they will say to you, depression is focusing on the negatives. You need to focus on the positives, the good bits. Forget the bad bits. What are they going to do for you, the bad bits? They're only going to pull you down. Forget them. Only focus on the good things. So it's a similar thing, I suppose. So I was quite pleased with that, and she was telling me, I was saying to her, it's funny, because I used to play in my 20s. In my early 20s, I'd be playing this thing at church. And I used to walk in there full of it. Full of it. Oh, morning, everyone. Morning. Yeah, I used to get up there. You know how it is. Yeah, any young lads in their 20s will know where I'm coming from here. Or those of you who are older, any lads who are older, sort of perhaps in your 30s, you may not notice it at your 30s. Certainly your mid-40s and upwards, you will notice. You will remember that when you were a young lad, you're walking around, really cocky. Hello, everyone. All right, hymn number 13 this morning, okay? Da, 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 da. And I'd play loud and fast, and it wouldn't bother me that anyone else couldn't keep up. But I don't think I ever played a single note wrong. It didn't faze me. Then there was a gap, and I went back in my 30s. That was okay as well, similar to my 20s. Then there was a gap, and I went back in my 40s. At this point, I'm like, hope this goes all right today. But I was okay, I'd still walk in. Morning, everyone. All right, a little bit more, down than I was in my 20s. Morning, which hymn do you want? Okay. Right, well, I'll try that one with you. Is that okay? Yep, that's okay. Rather than brash in my 20s. Yeah, we're doing this one today. That's it. No, you're too slow. Come on, keep up. Right? In my 40s, yep. Is that okay? Yeah, that's okay. Good. Okay, well, if you want to do that one, Yep, all right, that's all right. Yeah, okay, we'll do that one. So that's in my 40s. 56 now, walking up those stairs. Well, I might have been trying to walk across water. I was absolutely terrified of hitting wrong notes. All confidence gone. Isn't that funny? You would think it was the other way round. As you get older, you become more confident. But no, it's not. As you know, I was a DJ for a long time. No confidence to DJ now. None. Someone come up to me the other day. Oh, we're getting married. We'd love you to. I'm sorry I don't do the DJ. Why not? Why not? You were really good. I said, I can't do it anymore. I've lost confidence completely in doing DJing. Isn't that funny? Now, I do a little bit of DJing on a Saturday, but it's more hosting than DJing. The karaoke's fine. I'm fine with that. And I don't know why that is. You seem to lose the confidence as you get older rather than gain it. Strange, isn't it? Isn't that strange? So there we are. I was doing that there. And then eventually the priest came in and he was quite happy with things. And he said to me, someone come up to him and said, "Excuse me, Father, has the organ been serviced?" Has the organ been serviced, he said. So that's that, right? So I finished there, and from there, I left straight away, jumped in the car, got myself a cup of tea in my plastic Starbucks mug, and got in the car, and went to see my mate, who's in hospital at the moment. He's had a bit of a rough time in there. But I went to see him. Traffic was really bad. I mean, it was even worse than it is on a Friday night. That M4 queues back for miles trying to get into London. But nevertheless, I got there, came through Earl's Court, turned left along to Fulham Road. He's in the Chelsea and Westminster Hospital at the moment. So I've gone in there, got down that road, went right down the back road, parked down this lovely road. I wrote it down. Radcliffe Road. Now, this is in Chelsea. Radcliffe Road. Oh, beautiful old white houses there, lined up there. And I was walking down there. I parked my car, Residence Bay, not operating on Sunday. So there was plenty of places actually to park. And I got there about 1:30 in the afternoon, 1:45, something like that. Coming down this road, and I thought, I bet this road is really nice at Christmas time. You know, those great big old white houses. You'd have a Christmas trees in the windows and all that. I just imagined it like that. And then I thought, well, maybe not so much. Maybe not so much, because, of course, there'd be a lot of foreign people living there who I suppose don't celebrate Christmas. But you can imagine in times gone by, all these big, tall, white houses, terraced, you know, all together with roof gardens and just big posh cars parked outside. You can imagine what it would be like there at Christmas with these trees, Christmas trees in everyone's window, can't you? Anyway, got to the hospital, walked up the stairs. We don't take lifts. Walked up the stairs and went to see my mate, who was laying there in the hospital bed. Now, we did make a little video, okay? If you've been on Facebook, you will already have seen this video, but I'm always aware that there are people who aren't on Facebook, including Maureen, who texted us in this morning. Good morning, Maureen. Church Hymn Channel. That's a bit awkward, Maureen. I'll write it down for you tonight. It's not an easy thing. It's a string of numbers and letters, so I'll give that to you. She wants to know, I do have a new YouTube channel where I play the organ. There's only 2 things on there at the moment, but I'll add one now and again, as and when. You know, just me playing a little bit. That would be of limited interest to most of you, I would guess, but there'll be some people who might like it, so it's there if you want to have a look at it more. I'll give you the information to that tonight, okay? Yes, so I'm always aware that not everyone's on the Facebook or sees the little videos that we make. I do a lot of shorts now. I've started doing little short videos on Instagram. You can find those. They also come up on Facebook. Instagram, Facebook and Twitter, they come up. Unfortunately, not on YouTube. The short videos are about a minute long now and again. So I did do a short video with my mate Ronny yesterday. And this Hello. Well, I've arrived at the hospital. I'm all ready. And I'm in the little ward already. Ronnie is right in front of me, being ill.
Hello everyone. Excuse my equipment. Welcome to my humble private room. I appreciate all your messages and very grateful to you all for your lovely words. Thank you very much, and thank you to Chris Reardon for coming in a bin bag. Anyway, enough talking from me now. Bye everyone. Bye bye.
There we are. There's our little words from... yes?
It's not about you.
No, it's my show, darling.
It's about me.
It's my show.
But it's about me.
It's my show, love. It's my show. We've done your bit. We've done your bit now.
Oh.
Okay? I've got the
about
video.
me.
I'm going. Thank you. Bye-bye. I'm going. Bye.
Oh.
Bye. Bye. There you go. Did you see him trying to take over the show then, like he was of some sort of importance or something? There we are. There's my mate. You didn't think it was going to be all serious, did you? Now, he will be ringing in a minute. Okay, I've just got to fire up the phone line so he can call in, and then we're able to call into Ronnie. Will be able to call. Oh, there he is. That was quick. There we go. Good morning, Ronnie.
And a very good morning to you.
There you go. Gotcha.
From this
Are you
beautiful, bright Sunday morning here in fabulous Chelsea.
speaking live from Chelsea and Westminster Hospital? Are you feeling better this morning, then, dear?
No, not really. I had a bit of a bad night, to be honest with you. They're going to have to put me back on intravenous drugs till Wednesday. And then hopefully I'll be able to come home. I've had quite a bad reaction to the tablets.
Oh.
So I've got hives, and I've been up half the night as well. So, but yeah, I'm laying here in my luxury electric air pumped bed, looking out of one of my lovely windows at the lovely view at Chelsea.
Yes.
It's only a small room. It's only 300 square feet with its own private bathroom, but it'll do for now, you know. Very nice, dear. Very nice. But yeah, it was very good to see you yesterday. You did cheer me up.
Good.
My lungs are in quite a bad state. So if anybody hears of anybody that's going to cark it with a good set of lungs, please let me know.
Going to what?
I'm willing. Going to cark it. Going to kick the bucket with a good set of lungs. Let me know. I'm more than welcome to pay. At least £25 per lung.
What can you see from your window? Is it a nice view?
It's beautiful. Yeah, I can see the stadium. I can see lots of huge Victorian and Edwardian houses.
Right.
And there's lots of I've got plants on my balcony, and there's lots of birds and bees that have been coming along, and there's all blossom trees as well, which stretch above the houses. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous.
How lovely! Did you have a nice breakfast?
I did this morning. I had lovely boulet toast and cereal and tea and some freshly squeezed apple juice.
But were you more successful
nice.
with your breakfast than I was with my Subway yesterday?
Well, I can't. But the worst part about it, dear, is you picked it up off the floor and ate it.
Yesterday, when I saw my mate, we came out of the ward and
Mates?
Yes.
Best mates.
Oh,
Best.
it's the same thing, dear.
No, it's
the
not.
same thing,
But it is with
dear.
you, 'cause you've only got one friend.
Oh,
and that's
shut up
me.
for a minute while I finish my talkings. Yes, Subway. We went to Subway yesterday, so we just come out. It's next door, so we come out the hospital, went door, and I bought myself a foot-long Subway. I think you only had a cup of tea or something, didn't you? You didn't have anything to eat, did you? Can't remember now.
I had a packet of Quavers.
Oh, a packet of Quavers. So I got my Subway, and we come back and walked into the hospital. We sat down at these tables that they've got, tables and chairs. People sit there and talk. And I put my Subway and I unwrapped it, and then half of it fell straight on the floor, didn't it? And I lost half of it. And I didn't scrape it up and put it back in my mouth. Not in an hospital floor, dear. God knows what germs are around there. I don't want to end up there as well. That's not the only food accident I had yesterday. I forgot to tell you about this last night. Because, of course, last
Well,
night...
normally you have food accidents every day, dear. They normally end up down you.
usually end up down my chest, don't they? In the kitchen, last night, I did myself some burgers and mashed potato and some baked beans. And I got one burger off the plate and off the grill, put it on the plate. The other one dropped onto the floor. Somehow it dropped on its side and it rolled away from me.
Well, it didn't want to be eaten, dear.
But don't worry, a quick blow on that and it was fine to put on my plate and munch up.
Well, there's no such thing as a 3-second rule, dear. There's no such thing as that.
There is no such thing.
No, there's not.
When are you coming out then?
So,
Do you know yet?
So my professor came round this morning. He came in.
Yeah.
Morning. I said, morning. He said, bad night then. I said, well, yes, I've got a bit of, yeah. He said, you've got a rash. So what we're going to do, we're going to do this, this, this and this. Have a cup of tea and I'll speak to you later. And walked out.
Yeah, that's what they do, isn't it? That's what they do.
He's absolutely marvellous. Absolutely marvellous.
Yeah. I got a message here from Glenda, she's in Pittsburgh, USA, who says, morning, Chris. Does your healthcare pay for organ transplants? I think it does, doesn't it?
It does, yes.
It does.
I'm actually on a semi-transplant list.
What is a semi-transplant? What, you only have an half a lung or something then?
No, I need one. I need new lungs. But what they have to do is you have to go through a process of it's like a process of elimination to make sure that you are suitable to have that done. Because the problem is because I've got underlying illnesses, they don't know whether they would be able to do it.
Right.
But the problem is I have holes in my right lung, in the top of my right lung, and holes in the top of my left lung. And eventually, when they start to pop, my lungs will continually collapse, and then they'd have to be reinflated. And Chris, you've been there, you've seen it, you know what it's like.
What, the reinflation?
It's horrendous.
Is that what? Is that what's wrong with your stomach? Is that air went into it at some point and it never came out again?
No. What happened with my stomach was a muscle prolapsed in my back, and it went into my bowel. It nearly killed me.
Well, it sounds like your mouth. Sounds like your mouth is prolapsing this morning, dear. It won't shut up.
Well, it's like yours. I mean,
sorry.
We talk about being backed up, dear. Yours has been backed up for about 25 years or so much coming out.
Glenda says, please tell Ronnie you are in her thoughts and prayers. So that's nice.
Oh, that's
isn't
lovely.
It?
Thank you.
I think she says when... I think she's saying here, when the healthcare pay for organ transplants. Well, we don't actually pay for healthcare here. It kind of comes out of taxes and all that sort of thing. All right. But generally, the NHS, whatever they do, we don't have to pay for that at point of contact. It's already paid for. When I go and visit the doctor, anything, I literally just pick up the phone. I'd like to come and visit the doctor, and I go. Hospital, we just go. So that's how it works here, isn't it?
Yeah. But did you hear what I just said? If
No.
anybody does want to make any sort of small, couple of £1,000 donation towards any of my, homeopathic treatments, I will be setting up a Just Giving page for that.
Oh, I bet you will. The same as everyone else, dear. Have you seen them all? The trouble is, you don't know which ones are for real and which ones aren't. Is there some sort of check?
You've shown that mine's real. They saw me yesterday with all my tubes.
Is there some sort of check?
Masks and my oxygen.
No, there's probably some messages here for you, so shut up for a minute and I'll have a look. Oh, yes. See, Michael knows. Michael says, my lovely Michael Lawrence, he says, Chris, you are so mean to your mate Ronnie. Thank you very much. I appreciate that comment. That's a nice thing to say. Anything like that, I'm very happy with. Guess who's here? Guess who's watching this morning, Ronnie? Here's a clue. She runs Waitrose.
It is the fabulous, the wonderful, my very dear, close and wonderful friend, Michelle.
It is the lovely Michelle.
Queen of all special powder.
Queen of Good morning, Michelle. She says good morning to you, Ronnie. Keith says he was born there, but it was called St. Stephen's, the Chelsea in Westminster. It's not the same building, though, is it?
No, this building was actually, the building that was here before, when they put it down, this was actually going to be the first Westfield, but they realised it wasn't going to be big enough. And that's when they moved it to Shepherd's Bush.
Shepherd's Bush. Okay.
Shepherd's Bush. How
Wayne...
are you, Keith George? I'd love to catch up with you, my darling. I've been watching you on Face 8, and I think you're doing absolutely amazing.
CoCo Conya. We want more. We want more CoCo Conya. Hello, CoCo Conya here. Conya.
Do love a bit of CoCo.
We love CoCo Conya. Give it to it how it is. That's what I say. Absolutely. Exactly. Wayne says, get well soon, Ronnie, as does Katie Ann Patterson. And let's have a look on YouTube. Tony Power says, am I giving you a hard time? I wouldn't do such a thing, Tony. No. Let's have a look. JP says, get well soon, Ronnie. That's nice. Oh, we've got a couple of people buffering on YouTube. It seems to be only happening on YouTube, so I would assume that's a problem at YouTube, okay? You can always join us on Facebook if you want to, facebook.com/Chris Reardon UK. You don't have to be a friend or anything, just because it's everything I do.
It couldn't be you, Chris. You're not an amateur or anything, are you?
I'm certainly not an amateur, no. Amateur?
No.
It's like you. You're a professional person at getting ill, aren't you?
Well, if there's something to catch, I normally catch it.
Yes.
Let's be honest.
Well, off you go then and catch some fish in the sea, love.
Apart from those other illnesses that people get.
Yes, I'm sure you've had them all, dear. You've had them
no,
all.
I haven't. No, not me, dear. I've had none of those.
Well, dear,
I've had none of those.
You have a lovely day there, my love, and get well soon.
Are you coming to see me tomorrow after your? Because you've got to go to London tomorrow.
Yes, London. 206.
206.
Yes, I'll be coming tomorrow. Yes, I shall be with you approximately 2 to 2:30, I would guess.
Oh, wonderful. Okay then, dear. Well, let me just say a very big thank you to everybody, and a very big hello to Keith George. I'm a big fan of Keith George, always have been. But I thank everybody for their kind words. And just remember, the giving page will be up within the next hour.
There's no I won't be reposting it. I won't be reposting it, mate. Good luck with your giving page. You
offered me money yesterday.
What do you want to do?
You offered me money yesterday.
Yeah, that was yesterday. If I ever offer you money, that stands for about a minute. That's it. Then you've got a minute to claim. Claims direct. There's a cut-off date, like that credit card thing. What's the credit card thing at the moment?
PPI.
Like PPI. There's a cut-off date. Well, my cut-off date is a minute after it's been offered. Thank you.
Yeah, I know.
What you want to do
is take money off you anyway. I know
what you want to do. What you want to do. Get yourself a dog with only 3 legs and 1 eye. Okay, sit outside a bank machine and then put loads of blankets over you and pretend to look really ill in front of the bank machine. That'll get you a few quid.
But I don't have to pretend to look ill.
I mean, it was really funny. I went to Italy once, and there was loads of these people literally laying in the road, and whoever it was I was with actually went over and gave them €1. Oh, it was you, wasn't it?
€5.
And then
the funny thing was.
Then we walked into the Vatican, didn't we? And as we were walking, we turned around. I think we walked up steps somewhere, looked back round, and there's this old woman, the same one that was laying in the road. She was walking down the street with a stick under her arm. Nothing wrong with her. Shocking.
Yep. Shocking. She'd do well with the benefit system over here then, wouldn't she?
She would. Woman. Have a lovely day. Thank you for calling in, Ronnie.
Andrew, I'll speak to you later. Thanks, everybody.
Goodbye. Bye. There we are. There's my mate. Not too well at the moment, bless his heart. But he's coming out Wednesday or Thursday, so I'll go down and visit again tomorrow. Some of your messages coming up here, boys and girls. Let's just scroll up there. We've left it a little while. Good morning to UK English. A very good morning to you. Katie Ann said she just got kicked off Facebook. How did you get kicked off Facebook? I don't know how that happened. You shouldn't get kicked off. Did it just suddenly stop working? That can happen sometimes. The trouble is with doing stuff on the internet, there's 1,001 places it can go wrong, and it's difficult sometimes sort of working out where the problem is, whether it's worked. It's not so much me, because this is going out on lots of platforms at the same time. If a group of people, as is happening today on YouTube, I gather, they're having a little bit of a problem with buffering, no one on Facebook has reported that, or on Vaughan Live either. So I assume that's all working all right. So it's probably something to do with YouTube this morning, okay? Good morning to Mike Reese Ponto. Very good morning to you, sir. David says he thought I was 43 years old. No, I'm 56. I was 56 a couple of weeks ago. I'm very happy to be 56, actually. It's all crap. All this thing about getting older when you're younger, it's all rubbish. And seriously, life really does begin at 40. I found that. Absolutely. It does. It does. Lee, annoyed Weatherspoon's hot drinks machine dispenses tea with a thick layer of scum. Oh, no. You've got to have tea out of a teapot, haven't you? Got to have tea out of a teapot. Graham, on the subject of confidence, I don't know how old you are, Graham, but he says, my confidence has gone the opposite way. I'm the same age as you, and I lacked confidence when I was younger. Oh, isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? So Graham is more confident now than he was then. I think I'm more confident at speaking now. Like, could I see myself doing something like this? No, actually, yes. In my 30s, I used to speak a lot while I was doing my DJing. It was like personality DJ type thing, you know. And so I would love to have done something like this when I was younger. But, of course, you couldn't. It just wasn't possible to do this sort of thing. Michael's going to donate £1,000 to Ronnie's GoFundMe page. Just give me the cash tonight, Michael, if you're coming along. Karaoke tonight, boys and girls. If you're coming along tonight, just give me the cash for Ronnie and I'll happily hand it over tomorrow. All right? Rosemary Dixon sending lovely wishes there as well. So many of you doing that, so that's very kind of you too. Okay. Good morning to Brian James, who was hungover on Saturday again. You must stop drinking, Brian. You are naughty, dear. Is it the old bottle? Katie has frozen this morning. A couple of problems on the internet streaming this morning. Good. So that's all that I've told you about there. Let's have a look there. I'll chuck that away now because we don't like to go back on old stories. Good. Well, I've got a couple of news stories for you. Do you want to call in? Do you want the phone line open this morning, do you? I can keep that open for a little while. Hang on a minute. Let's push that back up there. All right. There we are. Just in case you want to call in. Always remember, gang, I'm never like begging for phone calls or anything like that. But there is a phone number up there if you want to call in, 0208 144 3477. We'll just have that open for another 5 minutes or so, and then I'll close it again in case you want to call in. Now, I've got another couple of videos to show you this morning. At the end of the show today, I've got a little video of me playing the organ in the church yesterday, okay? A lot of you would have seen that already. The people on YouTube might not have seen that, okay? So I'll play that right at the very end of the show after the birthdays, okay? That'll be me playing away for you, just in case you didn't see that yesterday, in case you're interested. Tony says, hand the money over. That's your next holiday abroad. Absolutely. Absolutely. Ronnie's fund pays for my holiday. Happy, happy, happy. Happy days all round. Brian had half a bottle of tequila. Oh no, Brian. Don't hit the bottle. It's not the answer. It's not the answer to anyone's problems. It really isn't. We're going over to Australia now and Sydney. Keith's on the line. Good morning, Keith.
Hello, Chris.
Very good morning to you. How lovely to hear from you. What's the time now? About 8 o'clock?
Good evening here.
Is it 8?
No, it's just gone 9 p.m.
Oh, so you're only an hour behind.
No, 9 p.m. in the night time.
Sorry, I mean 11 hours instead of 12. I thought you were 12 hours behind.
11 hours in front. 11 hours in front, love.
Oh, so it's now coming up to Tuesday morning, is it?
Well, yeah, it's Monday night.
See, I don't know, Keith. Yeah. See, you are a world.
I keep getting confused here.
You're a world-class entertainer, and of course, coming with that, traveller. So you know all these time differences. I don't. I mean, I just go to the Isle of Wight now and again.
Very confusing because I was in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And of course, that's 8 hours behind the UK.
Right.
And 19 hours behind Sydney.
Oh, it's complicated.
So I flew. I took off on Thursday night at 5 to 11 in the evening and landed on Saturday morning at 9 a.m. So I was, or 7 a.m. or something like that. I didn't see Friday.
No, you
Yes,
lost
I
the
don't know
whole
where I am.
day.
Yeah.
What's it like sitting at the back of the plane, Keith?
Oh, I don't sit at the back of the plane, dear. You know that. When I go, I turn left. I turn left, love. I was sat in 1K, which I always sit in 1K on long haul, and that's on. You enter the aeroplane, you go right across, and you turn left, and you walk up until you can't walk no more. It's the front seat. The only person in front of you is the pilot. And I sat down, and I'd eaten in the lounge already, because they do dining. You can have a meal. So I was drifting off to sleep before the plane even took off.
Another meal comes round.
As soon as that,
and another meal comes round.
which I refused. Which I refused, dear. I said, no, I don't want nothing. And I put my feet into a bed, and I slept 7 hours, woke up for some water, and then slept for another 5 hours.
Oh, that's
so
brilliant.
I had 12 hours kip. I must have needed it, dear.
That's what you want, mate. If you can just fall asleep on a plane like that, that is absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah,
now, what are you doing in Sydney at the moment? Do tell us.
Well, I've just come back from we're just in LA, so I fancied having a little bit of a week. And Boy George is on The Voice here in Australia.
Just tell people what you do, Keith, for a job.
Me, I'm a Boy George impersonator.
Right.
And obviously I do drag as well and other characters. And I saw you mentioning CoCo, who's coming back with a vengeance.
Good. We're looking forward to that very much. CoCo Conya.
I've got to not. I've had to keep CoCo at bay a little bit, and it'll all come clear why. Because there's some TV projects been happening, and while I've been doing that, I didn't want anyone to jump on it and say, "Oh, this is what he's been doing against so and so and so and so." Do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. I do know what you mean.
I mean,
yes. I mean, I've often
very surprised.
Right.
To see that, the RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh, yes, yeah.
The judges have been announced, and it's Alan Carr, Graham Norton, Michelle Visage, and obviously RuPaul as well. And I was very, very surprised that Jason Reed, the drag expert, isn't one of the judges.
Oh, I don't really follow him.
Drag expert, dear.
No,
I
don't know who that is.
No, I wouldn't follow him either, dear.
Right.
So CoCo will
See,
be coming back
I never bought into that whole RuPaul drag thing. That's not what drag is to me. It is of course another form of drag, which I just can't seem to be able to relate to. They look fantastic, but there's more to it than just watching people look good on the stage, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we've been spoilt in the United Kingdom with, the dragon. I mean, we've seen it go from mime to live.
Yes.
And a good mime act generally became a bad live act.
Right. Okay.
I mean, mime. I used to love mime. As you know, Regina, Nikki Vixen, Millie Turner, Titty. Lizzie Drip.
Oh yes.
All of the Sandra.
All fantastic. All fantastic.
All of them. David Dow. And now you've got them. They're all. They seem to be like transsexuals. What's the word I'm looking for? Transvestites.
The words keep the words keep changing, Keith. I can't keep up with it. You only got to open a newspaper tomorrow, and there'll be another new word to learn, or another letter added to the LG thing and all that business.
Which category do you fall into? I said, with what? Well, how would you describe yourself? I said, fabulous. That's it. No, I don't mean that. I said, I know what you mean. I said, but I don't want a label. I'm quite happy to be who I am, and I said, I don't really want to be a label. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you have a nice holiday there, Keith. Pleasure to talk to you as always, old boy. And
love to Ronny, and I'm a big fan of his as well.
I'm a big fan of mine.
He does look ill.
He does.
I could sort him out a couple of pairs of lungs. We just have to find
Why
I
can't
can
you just
think of
make...
a couple of people.
Aren't lungs like bags with lots of holes in them? Couldn't you just get a plastic bag, put holes in them and insert them into your chest? Would that work?
Why can't you have iron lungs?
I don't
Iron
know.
ones.
Keith, have a lovely
I
evening.
see
Thanks for
what I
calling, all right?
Oh, all right. Hello, mate. Bye-bye.
Cheerio! Keith George calling in there from Sydney in Australia, boys and girls. Let's see. 8 o'clock in Queensland at the moment, which is where Michael is. Young Michael is there. Chris Manzar, good morning to you. Linda Buckingham, good morning, Linda. Nice that you're talking to each other as well on the thing. Dennis Granger says, totally agree about RuPaul. It's not my type of drag either. No, I saw a little. I think I managed about 5 minutes of RuPaul's Drag Race once. I just watched, and it was just people coming in, looking fantastic. Okay, and they walked into this room. Oh wow! And I thought, is that what this is? And I thought, no, this isn't for me. That being said, it's hugely popular. It's got to be an age thing. I liken it to the same sort of thing as when my mum and dad used to listen to me playing the Nolans at full volume in my bedroom, and they hated it. It's the same thing, isn't it? It's old, young, the next lot are taking over, and we don't like change. I think that's what's, as I say, it's not for me. That doesn't mean it's not good. I just can't see where the entertainment is in it. But that's me, and a lot of people my age will see the same thing. But it's times are moving on. You see, that's probably the next thing. Tony quite rightly mentions Dockyard Doris, Stella Minge, and the Sisters Slim, all great drag acts of years gone by. Really, years gone by. Would it work now? Well, yeah, I mean, there's stuff where I work at Central Station. We have an older clientele there on a Saturday, and generally the artists get a good reception. But when there's some younger stuff in there, every time someone says something, they seem to be blooming offended by something all the time. Times have changed, and that's just all there is to it. And I don't think there's anything we can do about it either. One of those things. Good morning to Julian Clark. Morning, Julian. Dennis blames the millennials. Yes, they get the blame for everything, and so they should do. Tony says the RuPaul thing is dreadful, full of drama queens with inflated lips. You see, I can't stand inflated lips. Oh, I think it looks awful. Inflated lips, I really do. Right, have we got all those messages through there? Good. Right, next bit of film for you, boys and girls. It's got a bit of a long show today to fit everything in, actually. Next bit of film for you is Crocodiles. Yes, Crocodiles. A very good friend of mine. He is actually the general manager of Central Station, Guy. And funnily enough, one of the drag queens he went on holiday with, Mr. Paul Stone, who is Victoria Sponge, they recently went on a holiday to India. You may remember me telling you this last week, that they were on a tour. And what happens in India, you'll be out with someone, and literally mothers with little boys send their little boys over to you, who then offer to show you whatever it is you want to see. Okay? In this case, crocodiles. I kid you not. Crocodiles. Now, the camera work is not particularly good. It's very shaky. I've got this thing about camera work. Now, if you're going to do a video, keep the bloody camera still. No one wants to see this all the time. So it is a bit shaky, but it's not like professional. You know, it's just like an amateur, but not like this program. Fully professional. Fully professional. Anyway, so I've got a little video of you of Guy and the little boy and Paul going crocodile hunting. I kid you not. Here it is.
You know you're getting older when the guides look younger.
Ask how old he is.
How old are you? I think he's 10. He's got Ben 10.
How old?
Ben 10.
How old are you?
10.
10, see? Told you.
10-year-old guide.
Yay.
Places low, as you say.
So today,
Go on to it.
today's idea to finish me off is to go and see crocodiles.
With a 10-year-old
Yes,
guide.
really. I feel like Penelope Pitstop in that programme, The Perils of Penelope Pitstop. I think the tour guide, the entire tour has been organised by the Hooded Claw to finish me off and steal my houses.
So Mowgli's throwing rocks at the crocodiles. I'm checking around to make sure there's none coming close to me. Okay, so I must say I'm crapping a bit. My tour guide, 10 years old, is throwing bricks at crocodiles. Well, yeah, they come in here once.
Would you go on holiday if you knew a 10-year-old boy was going to take you hunting for crocodiles and then throwing stones at the things? I couldn't believe it. You may have noticed Guy is the one with a hat on. His friend Paul suddenly disappeared. He went back to the car, mate. He bricked it. He went back to the car. I've never seen anything like it. Someone threw and the crocodiles, what did they attack? No, they went away. So obviously, the boy knows. I suppose when even like over here, you're 8 or 9 years old, you know things that someone who's never been there before wouldn't know. And obviously throwing stones and bricks at crocodiles frightens them away, as what happened there. But I think I'd be terrified. I think it's brilliant how you can go somewhere like that. Guy is one of those people who can go on holiday, just book the first night somewhere, and then he just goes off. Goes and hires random cars and things like that, and goes out and meets locals and all that. Whereas I'd be on holiday, I'd need to know where I was staying. I would have checked out the tourist guide first to see that he's not dodgy, paid for it all up front. And, it cost me a lot more than it would have cost Guy. I think he paid that boy's mother about £2 for that. Yeah, now what would that cost you on an official trip? 60, 70, 80 quid? £2. His mum asked for something like 50 pence, and he gave them £2, which is nice. But there we are. Anyone ever seen a crocodile that up close? I think I like to keep my distance from that. Thank you very much. Good morning to Brendan Brady fan. Good morning to you. No, that's not me in the video there, Brady. That's not me. The man in his 30s was a good-looking chap. The one at the end, that's Guy, that is. Okay. Tony says the boy in the video was scary, though. Looks like someone you wouldn't want to have an argument with. Oh, I'm sure they can look after themselves. Those young children in India must look after themselves, all right. I'm sure they do. Good morning to Dal. Good morning, Dal. He's having a sad day this morning in Newcastle for his granddad's funeral. I'm sorry to hear that, Dal. Sorry to hear that, my love. All right. I had a bit of bad news as well last night. A little... phone call to my sister when I got home. I said, "You all right, sis?" She said, "No, not really." I said, "Well, what's up?" And one of the family up there has died. Martin is my sister's husband. I think it's his uncle, Dave, who's a wonderful bloke. Such a nice man. Always happy to have a conversation with you. And his wife, Bernadette, and she's a lovely, lovely lady. And she's got 2 boys, Peter and... Oh, God. Peter and another one. Just a minute. Let me find out the names. Peter and... Oh, it's gone now. That name's gone right out my head. That's my fault. 1 minute. what's the other name? Peter. And so Peter's the one who calls it. That's why I know Peter's name, because he always sends us messages on the phone and all that. Peter. There's another one. Oh, it's not there now, isn't it? Oh, I'll get killed for not remembering that name. What's the other name? Is any of the family there can tell me? God bless Dal. That's nice of Chris there. Peter and she's got a couple of boys. And now she's on her own with them, you see. They are older, but nevertheless, you know, it's just horrible to lose your husband like that. I was talking to my sister, and he's one of those people that wouldn't go to the doctors. He didn't like to go, same as myself. Didn't want to go to the doctors, and the doctor gave him these pills. He had a bit of a heart problem, I think. You've got to take 2 of these a day, and he'd say, well, I'm only going to take 1 of these a day. And you see, I'm a bit like that. I'm very like that. I don't like to go to the doctor. And he literally just went suddenly yesterday. So, you know, as I said right at the beginning of the show, there was highs and lows yesterday. And I like Bernie. She's such a lovely, warm, nice person, as indeed her husband was. But none of us are here forever, are we? One of those things, isn't it? One of those things. Okie doke. Let's do today's birthdays then, boys and girls. It's a birthday time. And right at the end of the show, I'll play out a little video of me playing the organ yesterday. Now, I'll do today's birthdays and yesterday's birthdays as well, as we weren't here yesterday. So today, Monday, the 25th of February, 2019. Happy birthday to Alex Shara. Good morning, Alex. Happy birthday to you. Kelly McDermott is a young 37 years old today. Happy birthday, Kelly. And Deidre M. Nelson. Are you one of our Manalo ladies? I'm sure you are, Deidre. Happy birthday to you as well. So that's 3 for today. And yesterday's birthdays, gang. Happy birthday for Sunday, the 24th of February, to Courtney Ducharme, 30 years old yesterday. Dave Cross, who writes for the magazine there. Happy birthday, Dave. Joseph Bishop yesterday was 25 years old. Trisha M. Costa was 47 years old. Jason Lewis, he does DJing and events and all that business. He lives quite near me. I've never met him, though. Tried to meet him once and he was away. Went all the way to the offices and he was on holiday. Never mind. Jason Lewis, 43 years old yesterday. Salsa Strachan is 30 years old yesterday, as was Philippa Myhole. I think that's a drag act. I've just realised what I said there. That's the drag act name. They've all got funny names like that. Kiko Lombardi. Happy birthday, Kiko. Love the photo, Kiko. When you come to sing at the karaoke, it's been a while. And Michael Murphy's birthday yesterday as well. So happy birthday, boys and girls. Here comes the song. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. There we are. All birthdays wished happy birthday. There we are. Kathy, morning. And Rod, you're not the... Oh, where's Rod? Rod Brown is late this morning. So late. And Kathy, gosh, nearly finished. You're lucky, though. You get to see me playing the organ. That's it for the show today. Just before we go to our closing film today, to let you know, it's karaoke tonight. We've got a new poster for Monday nights as well. Where is it? Where's my poster's gone? There it is. Monday night karaoke. What are you doing tonight? Are you around in North London? Then you can join us at Central Station Bar. Karaoke every Monday night from 7:30. If you look closely at that, then... Oh, I've just knocked my microphone. There's a picture of lots of our wonderful Monday night karaoke people. Look, they're all there. Pictures of them all there. Okay, various different people. And you can see that there. That's every Monday tonight from 7:30 until 11 o'clock. Karaoke tonight at Central Station, 7:30 until 11 o'clock. Okay. All right, to finish off with today. Oh, good morning. Tay's just woke up. Come on, Tay. So late, dear. Tay is very, very late this morning. Morning, Tay. And Michael Lawrence's birthday next Friday. Michael, make sure you've got that set in your Facebook and then it'll come up on the list. If you haven't, just let me know on the day and I'll be happy to sing that to you. And that goes for anyone else, gang. If you know someone whose birthday it was and you want me to sing that, it's always at the end of the show. then just let me know while that show is happening and I'll do it for you at the end. They don't have to be a viewer or anyone watching the show. Always happy to do that, and then you can just post it on their wall or something like that. All right, to take us out today, here's me playing the organ. Yesterday at church, it was the final hymn. Okay? If you listen carefully, you can't quite hear because the camera was so close to me rather than out. And there's nowhere else for it to go, to be honest, just sort of on a shelf like that. So here is the hymn. I finished off with the Mass yesterday, and I'm pleased to say it all went quite well. And everyone was singing and everyone was happy, and that's the most important thing, that I did everything right yesterday. So I'll finish off with this little bit of organ playing for you. Have a lovely Monday, and I'll see some of you at the karaoke tonight from 7:30. Thanks for watching and listening. Bye-bye now.